Hello, good evening, sir. Uh, Thanks a lot for giving me a chance to ask the question. It's my pleasure to be here. Myself, Shivam. I'm master's student at IIT-Ropar in physics department. Question is, in our day-to-day life, we do lots of things for our overall development. And being social animal, it becomes natural to validate ourselves by peers, by my uh, neighbor ones. But in that situation, I won't be able to be myself 100%. Whatever I'm going to do, it should be by my own 100%. But at the same time, social validation becomes necessary. So what should I do? Although I know that I'm doing uh, whatever I'm doing is okay, but still I need social validation. So should I go for social validation without taking care of? I won't be able to be myself 100%.
When you say social validation,
Yeah.
exactly whose validation?
Like any, I can take any example. Like I'm going to do anything. I mean, people would react to my task, to my work. That you are
I said whose validation? Which people?
my peers who know me better. They may be my family. They may be my friends. They may be
How valuable are your peers? What kind of respect do they deserve?
depends.
Please be honest.
Sir, it depends on the person.
No, I'm talking of the person. Keep aside dependencies. I'm talking of the person whose validation you seek. How high is that person? How valuable, how worthy is that person?
Uh,
Compared to yourself, let's say.
okay.
If that person is your peer, chances are he or she is almost like you when it comes to the level of consciousness, right? So, what's the point in seeking validation now? Whose validation are you seeking?
Sir, maybe he is a person who is senior enough than me.
Are you getting what I'm trying to point at? When you ask someone to validate your position or your worth, that person, first of all, must have some position and some worth, right? Otherwise, he is in no position to validate. I want to learn tennis. Huh? And I play my backhand a certain way. And I find it's frequently crashing into the net. Now, will I just go to the nearest grocery shop and ask the person at the counter to correct or validate my backhand? Now, imagine me standing at the grocer's and displaying my backhand to that person. And that person has a cauliflower in one hand and tomato ketchup in the other. And I am displaying my backhand and asking him to validate it. Who is he to validate? Validation is not a problem. But if you want to get it validated, go to a proper coach. Where is the coach? There is no coach. The grocer and the cobbler and the auto wala and the plumber, these are teaching you topspin. That too, backhand topspin. And now you are very worried. Because they are saying, why are you having a one-handed backhand? You must have a four-handed backhand. Where are the other four hands? They will magically reveal something to you. Who knows? And you are very worried now. Because you are not getting the validation. Because the other two hands, you are not able to produce them. If you want to ask someone who knows. Is that not obvious? You are in the second year or fourth year or 10th year, whichever year, and you pick up your peer who is just as confused as you are, and now he is passing judgments, and you are taking those judgments so seriously. What's the point? Now, then the central problem is not that you seek validation. The central problem is that you don't have high company. Get in the company of those who matter. And if you cannot get them in flesh and blood, get them in books. Ask yourself, will a Vivekanand validate what I'm just thinking or what I just said or did? Seek validation from there. Ultimately, you have to come to a point where your internal light is so strong that you are in no need of validation. But that will take time. That kind of total freedom takes time. What do you do before that? Before that, the thing you have to do is stop listening to fools. And get in the company of some worthy people, living or dead. Validation, seeking validation is in itself not a problem. Because sometimes others do know better. But not all others know better than we do. Be discreet. And at the same time, I am not saying that all your friends are idiots. But please be discreet. Maybe a couple of them can be useful when it comes to giving feedback. Listen to them respectfully. But any Tom, Dick and Harry comes and looks into your eyes and says, oh, you are nobody, and you start feeling down and inferior. Makes no sense, does it? But that's the thing about validation. You are in a party and people, the janta starts laughing at you. You don't even bother to see exactly who is laughing. That chorus, that collective laughter is enough to quell your spirit. Something big, something collective, something massive is coming at you. And you lose all your discretion. You just surrender. Equally, 10 people start complimenting you, praising you, and you again lose all discretion. You forget to check who these 10 people are. You just returned from your maths exam, and 10 donkeys are praising you for solving that tricky problem in integral calculus brilliantly. And you are already dreaming of 100% marks. How does that sound? I think I'll get 100%. Why? Because 10 donkeys praised me abundantly. Now, if you want to know how well you have done in your maths paper, go to a maths teacher. And if you want to know how well you are doing in life, go to a life teacher. Obvious. Opinions do matter. But not everybody's opinion matters. Learn to listen and learn to not to listen.
But sir, in most of the time, the people who, like I was saying about validation, lots of time they are there at the moment. As you said, go to the teacher or go to the that particular thing which is suitable to validate you. But most of the time, we are not means we are in a situation where lots of these donkeys are there.
We are in a situation where
Usually these donkeys are there. I mean,
Usually these?
majority will be there, like who are validating wrongly.
Arey Baba, why must you live with the majority? Do you always have to be with 2000 people? Choose your company wisely. Na? Why do you have to be with a crowd? Be with one person or 5 persons. Be selective. But you don't want to give up the company of fools because it's pleasurable. If you will live with fools, you'll have to listen to fools. You can't have just one part. If you want to have the pleasure of living with fools, you'll have to bear the suffering of listening to fools. You say, I don't want to listen to fools, but I want to live with them. You can't live with them and yet not listen to them. Not possible.
Can I ask one? So in that situation, I'll be called introvert, maybe.
By whom?
Possible.
By the same fools. Why are you still with them? You quit them and they call you introvert. But how did you listen when they were calling you introvert? That means you never quit them. Had you really quit, you would not have been there to listen, right? So you are planning to already defraud on what I am saying. This is too much to bear. Huh? You wanted a simple problem, simple solution to a local problem. And I'm giving you a big solution that will affect all your life. You don't want life itself to be elevated. You just don't want to be negatively affected by others' opinions. That's a small objective you have. That small objective is all right. But even that small thing won't be achieved unless something bigger is changed. And the bigger problem is that there is the self, the little ego within you, that is finding comfort in lazy and wrong company. That ego has to be challenged. In fact, it is not even the people around you that need to be changed. The first thing that needs to change is your internal ego. Because the people didn't come on their own. Those people were brought to you by your ego. So you'll have to change. Keep the right company. Have ego that is always thirsty for an uprise, for an ascent. Be someone who is always looking for greatness, always looking to learn and be better. And then, accordingly, you will choose your company. Have a deep, mad love towards greatness. And then you won't be able to afford imbeciles.